All right, I believe it's preparing up. I'll be back with a thumbs up momentarily.
Righty, thank you.
Hey, David, this is Nita.
Yes.
Could you just do a favor? Could you change my name? It's my daughter's name popping up there.
Sure.
Sorry about that. And thanks.
Can you, how do I spell your name?
Just put my first name, N for Nancy.
Yeah.
E, one more E, T for Thomas, A for Alpha.
All right, you got it.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right.
All right, we're ready to go. Time to read the announcement. I am Michelle Rehill, Chair of the Board of Library Trustees. This open meeting of the Board of Library Trustees is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the town of Northborough has been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. All members of the Board of Library Trustees are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Board of Library Trustees to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda, unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. I will now do attendance. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan, aye.
Hamilton Soriano.
Hamilton Soriano, aye.
Nita Karanjkar.
Nita Karanjkar, aye.
Jocelyn McHeleny.
Jocelyn McHeleny, aye.
Charles Recchia is not present. All right, Joan Scott.
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker, aye.
I'm Michelle Rehill, I am here. Also present, we have Jennifer Bruneau.
For Bruno, aye.
And Deborah Hirsch from the library. Thank you, Deborah. All right. And just for you, the people in attendance, the rest of the trustees, Jim DiGiulio is our host for tonight, and he should be the host for our meetings moving forward. So lucky Jim gets to deal with all of us. So having said all of those things, I officially call the meeting to order at 7:08 p.m. And the first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of December 8th, 2020. Do I have a motion? Did everyone receive them?
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. Can I have a motion, unless anybody has questions, can I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. And again, roll call for approval. Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan, aye.
Hamilton Soriano.
Hamilton Soriano, aye.
Nita Karanjkar.
Nita Karanjkar, aye.
Jocelyn McHeleny.
Jocelyn McHeleny, aye.
Charles is not here. Joan Scott.
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker, aye.
And Michelle Rehill, I say aye as well. And just a note for moving forward, the minutes of the meeting will also include any members of the trustees who are not present, and that will kind of help us going forward. Hamilton reminded me last month that if you miss a meeting and we're voting on the minutes, you should abstain from voting on the minutes of that meeting. So we're going to keep a note of which trustees are not present, just so that all that stuff is kept nice and neat and tidy. We will also be including the list of the documents that we reference. Yes, did I say that correctly? So that will also be included in the minutes when you see those going forward. So that's done. We approve the minutes. Move on to the financial report. Is there anything that you would like to point out to us, Jen, or does anybody have any questions about the appropriations report?
Nothing for me.
Nothing. I didn't see anything that looked super crazy. Anybody else? No? Okay.
I hate to disappoint Deb, but I don't have any comments this month.
Thanks. I don't think she looks disappointed.
So thank you. You know, I actually went through and I said, okay, what is Joan going to ask about? But it all looks so good. So I was like, okay.
I guess I could ask why we're under 50%. I mean, we're halfway through the
Right.
year.
I thought of that, but you know, I think it's just, Jen, we're buying less because people are using our materials less, physical materials.
We'll have to get them out the door more.
There was some delay, I think, too, with some of the spending as I was getting onboarded. So we'll be spending more on ebooks. So you'll start to see those numbers or those percentages go up.
Yeah.
I will spend the money.
We didn't have as many people helping to spend the money.
Yeah, I have no problem spending money.
When we're short staffed. All right. So if nobody has anything to say or ask about the appropriations report, we will move on to the library director's report. So you've had a good month, Jen?
It was, oh yeah, it's been a great month. And I'm so much less overwhelmed during this meeting than I was in the last one.
Yeah, well,
it's been a really good, productive month. Everybody's been so helpful in answering all my questions and kind of helping me get settled. So yeah, it's been great. I don't really have anything for you other than what was in my report. But if anybody has any questions about that report, let me know.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, Mitch.
Not a question, but just a comment. It's really nice to see the library take a more proactive route in social media. Something I think we've had a limited exposure to some extent over the last few years, but good to know you'll be more active. Thank you.
All right. Not specifically, it's not listed in there in your report, Jen, but one of the things that you had said was for the meetings, you know, we're always scheduled, our meetings are on Zoom, and it's like we're always going, it's like, oh yeah, we got to remember to ask for that. The town has taken a more proactive approach to that and is scheduled the Zoom meetings for the rest of the fiscal year. Is that correct?
They actually went ahead and did it for the rest of the calendar year.
Did it for the
Not
calendar?
to say that we won't be in person before then, but just in case.
Just in case. So yeah, so we've already got our slots reserved for all of our future meetings, all right, through the end of the calendar year. So it will make it a little easier. It will always be the same link, the same password. We don't have to worry about that. So that will be helpful. I have no questions or comments about the director's report. But since it's related to reports as well, maybe I will bring it up. I wanted to thank all of the departments every month. And this, it came into my mind because we were talking about the reports that we referenced during the course of the meeting. We get other reports from the departments every month. And I find them very helpful. So children and young adult, and And Deb is going to be giving us, as I said, she's been going to do the adult services, the reference report on a quarterly basis, I think, right? And I know that we don't bring those things up and discuss those reports every month. I know occasionally we'll see something that one of us will comment on. But just because we don't talk about them always, I think that they're very helpful to us because they give us a snapshot of what happens in every department from the department's point of view. And they kind of help inform us in our decisions and our deliberations and kind of, you know, what happens with the budget and so forth. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate the different departments bringing, you know, taking the time to provide us with those reports. I really appreciate that.
So, Michelle, could I just add something to that? I really, this time, I really enjoyed Katrina's report, really enjoyed it. And I want to, I went down into my own children's collection and I want to bring up something and I'm just going to put it in front of me. See if I can do this right.
Oh,
Good Night Moon, the one book that somebody said, I cannot read that book to my child again, please, I need books now.
But you know what? In this terrible time, that's a great book to read.
We crave the familiar. But that's our normalcy. Thank you, Jim. I'm really glad that you brought that up, that book. But now you're going to have to mention Katrina's report at the end of the minutes because we now discussed something in there. But again, I just wanted to just send that message to, you know, to the staff that we appreciate the fact that they give us this information so that we know what they're doing and we know what's going on. I think that's the end of my comments and important things that I wanted to say tonight, which makes me very nervous because that means that we're down to the date of the next meeting, which is December 9th, 2021 at 7 p.m.
February
December.
9th. I believe you said December 9th. I suspect you meant February 9th.
Before when I meant this, I was talking about December and I said January. Now I mean February and I said December. I'm just not.
An 11-month break is interesting in our calendar.
Hey, we had a few months. All right. The date of the next meeting is February 9th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Did I say it correctly that time?
You did.
Awesome. Is there any other business that may come before the board at this time?
I do have a question. I can't remember if it was in the director's report, but there was just an email that came out on the trustees listserv about the Board of Library Commissioners kind of excusing people from all the requirements for the funding.
Oh, not all of the requirements. I happen to have that memo right here.
Okay.
Since it just came out, I did not have time to really read it, but it they changed the amount for the expenditures for the coming year. So and the open hours so that wouldn't count against us. Because it just came out and I tried reading it and, you know, after a day of work and then trying to read that, it was too much for me to handle all at once. But Jen, if you want to, I'm assuming you got, the Board of Library Commissioners, you got that. If you have anything that you want to share with us for the meeting next month, if there's anything that you really feel that we need to highlight in that memo from them, anything that we need to be aware of, anything that might impact us one way or another, that would be great. I would appreciate it.
Sure.
All right. Thanks for mentioning that, Joan. I said I have a copy sitting right here on my desk and I just walked right by it, ignored it. Didn't think to mention it.
Well, I know
So
that's something
forward that to me.
had
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I know that was something that we had discussed at length. I think it was in the last meeting. So I just wanted to see how that ended up. Those changes, if they end up leaving us in the clear or if we still have to be concerned about that.
We always have to be concerned, but Yeah, and that's why it really, Jen's gonna really need to sit down and take a look at that and figure out how that impacts us.
Sure.
And because like I said, it's just, we haven't had it in hand long enough to really look at the numbers and figure it all out. But I will make sure that Jen will make sure that you do have that email, and if, like I said, maybe something in the report for next month to talk about that. All right, any other questions? No. All right, I think this officially makes it the shortest meeting unless somebody doesn't make a motion. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting? No one? You're just gonna.
Really? I'll move we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Thanks, Mitch.
All right, so Jocelyn moved, Mitch seconded. All right. All those in favor of adjournment. Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan,
Tim Hogan, aye.
Hamilton Soriano,
Hamilton Soriano, aye.
Nita Karanchkar,
Nita Garanchkarai.
Jocelyn McElhenney,
Jocelyn McElhenney, aye.
Joan Scott,
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker,
Richard Tucker, aye.
and Michelle Rehill also says aye. The motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:21 p.m. I think we beat our record.
Michelle, now that we're at the end of the
Last
meeting,
one.
you are 3 for 3 pronouncing my name tonight. Congratulations.
I finally did it. Thank you so much. All right, Jim DiGiulio, you are officially off the clock now.